I never affiliate with anyone who isn't prepared to drown me in money.
Greetings, my excellent friends. After about 3 months, I think that's how long I was playing Shadow Tactics, we are back to Metal Gear Solid, though there'll be an even bigger gap, no doubt, after this one, because 4 is perhaps one of the most inaccessible games in existence, that, well, at least, belonging to a very popular, mainstream series. Since I don't have a PS3. So, we're going to play 3, and then we're just going to put it on hold until such a time as I hear more about Volume 2 of the Master Collection, which will hopefully put 4 into a playable state. First things first, did the Baldur's Gate 3 extension turn itself off like it said it would? Because I went to deactivate that, and it said, it turns itself on and off depending on whether you're playing 3. You just need to leave it active, and it will... It's not like the Disco Elysium one where I have to manually get rid of it. Good. So I don't actually have to work on that at all. That's fantastic. That's much better. That's how it should work. Like, an extension related to a game should have the ability to read your streaming category. Like, it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. It's not going to detect whether my computer is running 3, but so long as it... Really, it's rudimentary. It should say, hey, does your streaming category say Baldur's Gate 3? No, don't run the fucker. Does it say Baldur's Gate 3? Yes, run the fucker. That's what Disco Elysium should have done. Anyway. I bitch. The other thing I have not done, I have not launched this game. So, I don't know what volume settings lie in wait, and I also don't know how much, extra shit there is. Because remember, when we started Metal Gear Solid 2, we only played, like, an hour and a bit on the first session, and it's because the game started with novels that you didn't have to read, but I did, and I was glad I did, because they enriched the experience and gave me a lovely extra perspective of the first one. So I will be looking to see if there's stuff like that, and if it takes hours to do in most of this stream, that's just how it's going to be. Maybe we'd get Sam on to, We're not playing the original Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. No, we're not doing that. I watched playthroughs of those before I played the first Metal Gear Solid, in order to orient myself. But much as if I were to do a Zelda retrospective, I would start at A Link to the Past and skip the NES shit. I'm not... Yeah, I have... Or like when I did a Grand Theft Auto 3D Universe run, basically, because I didn't play 4 or 5 again. Not out of not wanting to, but out of, you know, I've done enough. I started at 3 after looking up what the original top-down GTAs were about. I'm not a complete madman. I have to research old things. I don't necessarily have to play them. Now, I do have an MGS thingy here, but I don't know that I'm going to need it to look like this, because it's not an emulated thing anymore. But maybe, because it's probably still going to be a 4x3 game. Let's see. Get rid of that. Put that there. Let's see how this winds up looking. Put you over there. Launch Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Master Collection version. This game needs a controller. Yep. I have one plugged in. Did you accept that I'm launching this? Yes, you did. You're gonna show up? There it is. This game contains expressions and themes which may be considered outdated. We may be... I think it's full screen. Yeah, it's full screen. Let me move this. Let's go here. I can't hear anything yet. Is that normal? Sam, I don't know if, actually, let's get your voice on here. I may as well talk to you, if you want. That's fine there. Well, my question is, once you've undeafened yourself, have you actually launched and installed and played this one? Because I know you played the first one on the collection, but I don't know that you actually have looked at this one.
I've played all three. Yeah.
Oh, good. That was quick. Oh, yeah, there's sound. There's a nice, lovely beep in my head. Let me just we'll be doing some audio. If you wish to use this game, please agree to the terms of use. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's one of those things you've got to scroll through the entire thing.
Yeah, it doesn't give you the continue button until you're finished. I guess that's good. Don't use this application to defame, abuse, harass, stalk, threaten, or otherwise violate the legal rights of others. How could you use Metal Gear Solid 3 to stalk someone? Oh, okay.
Not use a robot, spider, or...
It isn't as funny as Baldur's Gate. Nothing's as funny as Baldur's Gate. I don't actually know where the button is. Hang on. There it is. There we go. I can agree now. Hang on a minute. Tactical espionage action. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Press any button. Oh. Well, my head's blocking a chunk of that, but I think you get the gist. We'll move my head if we have to, but for now it's there.
If you're reading stuff, you may have to.
Probably. Oh, it does say master book and screenplay book, also game selection, but this is 3. First of all, let me just duplicate this session and call it yes. So that way if I make changes to where my camera is, it doesn't break anything else's settings. Language notifications, but where's audio? Huh. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of game doesn't have volume control? Well, maybe it does later on. Maybe it has it in game selection. I don't know. 1964, Virtuous Mission, Operation Snake Eater, the story that tells the beginning of the epic saga. It covers the events of both Virtuous Mission and Operation Snake Eater, detailing how the man, codenamed Naked Snake, must have drawn a short straw for that one, earned the title of Big Boss. In addition to hiding in the shadows, players can use uniforms and face paint as camouflage to blend in with their surroundings. Now that first part, uniforms, I'm familiar with that. We have game selection, which, that's funny. I like this. I like that. Although I'm not allowed to play the Japanese version for some reason.
You have to download it.
There's Master Book. This book references content for the entire series. We recommend reading this after you've completed each game, but I won't look at that. Screenplay book. Is that like... Oh, jeez. Hang on, how do I make it? So this is bonus stuff for the Master Collection. This wouldn't be in...
Correct. Yeah.
That's got music, section 1. Okay, so this is not stuff that I would read before starting. Good to know.
No, this is if you decided you wanted to do some kind of radio play of the series.
Sounds like something that you would do, but maybe not me. Alright, well then we'll just go into the game. Is there a difference between the North American and European versions?
I can't remember. Having only played the European version, I'm not sure.
Well, it could be an NTSC versus PAL thing, in which case North American is the one to click on, right? Because that's slightly better. Like, mechanically, but that doesn't make sense why they would do that. Is it worth a quick Google? MGS3 Master Collection. North American versus European. One of the more obvious differences between the two versions is the censorship of certain elements. Okay, so which one's censored? Yes, which one? Explosions that lit soldiers on fire in the American version have been toned down to merely throw them. Sounds like the European one's the balked one, then.
Yeah, I could probably tell you why that is. Germany.
Oh! Moving on with that, let's go with North American version then. I think that's... If North American translates to uncensored, we may as well go with the original intent version, you know?
I mean, the original intent version, you'd have to download the Japanese version.
Close fucking enough, Sam. Shall we play it in French?
No. Just no.
And there's an online manual. Is that like... Yes, that's... Oh, wow. So they... I love when games do this, because, like, one thing I do, I unironically do this when I play old games, I look up a PDF of the manual that existed at the time. Not because it's necessary, but because it's interesting. And... I don't necessarily read through them, but...
It's nice to know that they're there.
It's nice to... Oh, this is all... This game contains expressions and themes which may be considered outdated. However, these elements have been included without alteration to preserve historical context and the creator's original, if flawed, vision. Player discretion is advised. Please play in a well-lit room. That's kind of funny. Hang on, where's the... How do I button this? Next? Oh, so this one's mouse and keyboard. The game's controller only, but the controller doesn't work for the manual. Weird. So I guess this is like all the same art and style of the original paper manual, but done more. I'm not going to read it. I assume that if the game doesn't tutorialize me on something, then the Sam in my head will. So I'm not going to read through this and waste time. I'm only going to read through stuff if it's like narrative content. But it's cool to look at, and I would take a look at it if I was playing on my own, / will if I do a run through of these on my own one day, which I intend. So let's start game for... Whoops. I just broke the men... no, it's supposed to do this?
Yep, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Ah, right, of course it's changing the resolution because it's old. Is the stream showing this screen?
Yes, it's off-center. It's currently top left.
Right, because the resolution has changed. I'll need to deal with that. But it's still widescreen.
Yeah.
Ow. Fucking... We still don't have any sort of audio set. Jesus. Okay, I know these were console originally, but you could add a goddamn volume slider, my guys. Let me... Alright, so it's going to take extra long for me to Alt-Tab now because of the resolution exchange, but let me just wholesale turn down the Metal Gear Solid window itself. That's the only option that I have. So we won't get any balancing between types of audio, but we'll be able to not have it overpower you and me both. And yeah, that's pretty small. Let's... It should work just like that. Okay. If I ever use this particular screen set again, then it will be very funny because half the screen, or like a giant chunk of the screen, will be missing. I'm going to leave my camera there because I don't have the main menu or the main like screen yet, but when we do, we'll see what's best. Blood on. There we go. Own view. Oh, stop it. Controller, I do need you to behave. Normal/reverse. Camera mode, third person or normal. Captions on. Real-time cutscenes, full screen, please. Now here it is. Special. Just basic actions in a photo album. So there's no, like, giant novel at the start of this one, is there?
Well, I wouldn't expect so, because this is the first chronologically.
That makes a lot of sense. And that's good, because I don't have as much time per Saturday as I used to. So if we had 3 hours of novel, I don't know that we'd have any time for game.
You may want to look at the basic actions.
Yes, I think I know the basic actions, but it's good to refresh when a game's this old. Fuck, it is still so loud. I will have you know, it was already... The volume is currently at 4. Is that not affecting the desktop?
It is, but it will. You're pretty much going to have to put it to 1, I think.
Okay, those of you watching the stream, is this quieter than this? Is there a difference as I slide this up and down? Okay. Why the fuck? That's 8! This is 1. This is 1. Out of 100, this is 1. This is 2. This is 12. I've never said anything to 1 before. Two is probably the one to go with. Yeah. What I don't want to have to do, because if I do this, it will affect everything else I stream, and that is change the actual source settings for OBS. I cannot afford to do that because it would, like, destabilize everything. It has to be through here. Anyway, that's amazing. Anyway, we've got to set it to. Let me know if there's any issues. Press the L in the direction you want to move. There are 2 movement speeds, depending on how far the L is pressed. Press it lightly to walk or hard to run. Also use that to perform stalking that is slow but noiseless. So that's how you can stalk people with Metal Gear Solid 3. It's a gameplay feature that is also against the terms of service. Well, then why would you put it in the game if you're going to forbid it in the terms of service? Well, study your battle results well to know better ways of survival in battle. So what this is console that's been ported to PC and they just haven't thought about PC needs at all, which isn't ideal, but Konami.
Other than making it actually runnable.
Yeah, they made it runnable, but like, I cannot believe this is Volume 2.
Actually, that's probably something to do with Windows sounds and the way that the inbuilt sound drivers work. Because this isn't the only game I've had to do this with. Windows sound drivers are just terrible anyway. But
Yeah.
hey.
2 types of movement: normal, making noise, and stalking, not making noise, depending on how much you press the L stick while you're crouching. far it's pressed. As in, like, yeah, okay, distance. And press A to go between standing, crouching, lying down. And you can crouch, but you can't walk crouching. If you try to walk crouching, you'll drop to your belly. Which apparently was modded out by someone, according to Snip. Hold down RB to change to first-person view, and then you can da-da-da-da-da with your gun. Yeah. Press Y. Oh, that's not my controller, is it? So X isn't X. A is X. X is like square. We'll get used to which button does what eventually, but I can climb trees and hang on trees. Oh, this is new. Aim. Great. Swim. I do remember that from 2. Combat roll. Rolling attack? You will enter and move in intrusion view automatically when you... okay, yeah, it's just the camera angle when you're, like, in a thing. And climbing up on boxes and ladders. Okay. Hanging. Hang with your friends. Be a chill dude. There's no railing and the edge faces a long drop that might result in injury. You will automatically hang down when you walk over the edge. I don't think 2 did that.
No, it didn't.
It really didn't. I have a distinct memory of it repeatedly not doing that about 10 times. If it's not a long drop, then you will only hang if you approach the edge walking or stalking. Walking or stalking. Press both triggers at the same time to do a pull-up. Okay. Can you level up your grip in this one?
I think so.
Quickly press a trigger to unequip and re-equip an item. Automatically reload if it's unequipped. That's the same thing that used to be. Do the throw thing, I guess.
Yeah, this is a slight point of difference because Big Boss was almost the progenitor of CQC or Close Quarters Combat. Wombat, okay. But Snake rejected it because of what happened in Metal Gear 1 and 2. So it's a little bit different.
So we have a lot more options with this here in Snake.
Yeah, yes.
This is a different Snake with a slightly different skill set. Hold down L while holding an enemy soldier in a show call to threaten them with a knife and get some information out of them. Press press left trigger with that knife to follow through the threat. Quickly press X after grabbing the enemy in a chokehold to use them as a human shield. What is this, Payday? Hold down L and press B while the enemy's at a chokehold to throw them. I'm not going to remember all of these, but we'll see how many of them I get used to using as we go. If you bring your gun up to the enemy soldier after throwing them, you can hold them up. So it's not the same hold-up mechanic as in 2, where you have them standing. You chuck them and then point gun. Yeah, peek over edges, good shit. The lower the position, the less your hands will tremble, the more accurate shooting will be. Crouching is better than standing, lying down is better than, yeah. Advanced, corner, jump out, shooting! Just throw words together that sound action-packed, and maybe they'll make sense. You could make a jump out shot. First person view, press one of the triggers to sidestep left or right. Fire a weapon one-handed while hanging. That just sounds far too cool. Press X near a downed enemy and move them around. That will generally jostle their loot. Press Y near a gun encampment and you can use it. Making noise. Press B while up against a wall to whack on it. And right, can I swap between third-person camera and the traditional camera? Sounds like it. Shooting the right hand of an armed enemy will make them drop their weapon. What if they're left-handed, you fucking bigot? It is also possible to shoot and destroy the radios they're holding, which will prevent them from calling in the police. Bring your gun up to an enemy's back. Okay, so you can still hold them up like that. There's 2 ways to hold people up. Alright, good. There's also a photo album with nothing in it. Guess I haven't unlocked any photos.
You haven't taken any.
New game! What the fuck? No, Snip sent me a message about this. He said it gives you stuff. Wait, sorry, did my captions just caption new game to you gay? I just looked out of the corner of my eye, just saw the sentence, you gay. Full sentence, you gay. No, I said new game. But if you gay, cool. I suppose the honest answer would be to click on MGS. Well, it doesn't say I've played. It's weird.
You may want to look these up because I can't remember.
I could just read what Snip wrote earlier.
Good.
A message from Snip to us, mostly to me. Since I'm probably not gonna stay awake for your stream start, which is true, because he's not fucking here, I'll impart one tip that I just remembered. At the start of the game asks you for your favorite MGS game. Choosing MGS 3 gives you a couple of non-significant things that you'd normally get after completing the game once. These include a couple of in-game items that may influence someone's choice of wanting them now rather than on a second playthrough. Nothing close to the ammo bandana stealth, certainly nothing game-breaking. He didn't say what it is, he just said that you get some stuff if you say 3.
Yeah, basically this is like how in some games it asks you how many games in the series you played before in order to either make the game easier or harder. There is a difficulty slider in this game, except there's also this additional thing. And this additional thing gives you things if you say that you just like MGS3. So I'd take it.
Here we have it. According to GameFAQs, there are 4 options when you start a new game. I'm playing the series for the first time. Default intro cutscene. I like MGS1. Snake will lose stamina at a slower rate during something called Virtuous Mission. I like MGS2. Special cutscene. Name in the upper left-hand corner will be different until the backpack is retrieved. I like MGS3. Unlocks all cutscenes in Demo Theater, European Extreme Difficulty, Dual, unlocks face paints and camouflages that were introduced after MGS3 Snake Eater was released, Brown face paint, Soviet Union face paint, UK face paint, French face paint, Germany face paint, Italy face paint, Spain face paint, Sweden face paint, Japan face paint, USA face paint. That's a lot of shit.
So yeah, pretty much MGS3 then. Eh? Because I suppose saying I like MGS3 hints that you've already played it before. It's giving you a new game plus esque thing.
Doesn't look like it's giving you anything like that breaks it or that spoils the story.
No, it doesn't spoil the story. The face paints will have differing levels of camouflage though, so they may help you in certain situations.
Okay, well, look, if there's something that's like too ridiculously powerful, I can just not use it while still unlocking it.
Fair enough.
And apparently if you say you like MGS2, the opening scene will have Snake wearing the Raiden mask.
Yes.
That doesn't sound quite so helpful as camo. Let's just say I like this game and pretend I've played it before. Ah, that's kind of weird, hey. Very easy for beginners. Easy for non-action experts. Normal for normies. Hard for confident players. Extreme for action game experts. European extreme. I love that it's called that. Is it suggesting that Europeans are tougher than everybody else?
Than Americans, yeah.
Oh. Game ends when the enemy sees you. Fuck off. Ends as in, like, game over, load a save, or hardcore, you've been spotted once, begin again.
Game over. Continue from the last checkpoint.
Alright, that's not bad. It's not fucking Ocelot's torture rules. I'm gonna play on easy. I've been playing on normal, or rather I had been playing on normal, but the reason why I was playing on normal was because I was playing emulated versions of MGS1 and 2, which means I had a wonderful feature that allowed me to brute force past my limit. I would not have wanted to play on normal for those runs if I didn't have save states, and I don't have save states now, so I'm gonna learn from that. We're not going to play on very easy. I'll push myself a little bit, but we will play on easy. Which is probably still breezy enough. Although I do find it suspect when a game has 2 easy modes, one of which is even easier. Generally speaking.
One or two of these will give you a M9-like experience, where you will have a tranquilizer gun that actually has infinite ammo. It's called the Easy Gun.
Yeah, Snip mentioned that. He said it was just on very easy, but we'll see if he's right. Because if it's called the Easy Gun, you'd think it would be in both of the easy categories. You're bad at this game and muscled through it somehow and never learned the basics of CQC. Yeah, pretty much. I'd probably play it on normal if it was a personal time game, but because we are not putting full effort or brain in, and we're going to play it for 4 hours a week with giant gaps, I think easy's better. Take it away.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Brr. Better than a hot war, but still pretty bad. How the fuck is this Volume 2?! See if I recognize any names. So far, none other than David Hayden. Jim Ward and Brian Cummings. If you put them together, do you create Jim Cummings? 5:30 a.m.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet. Approaching Soviet airspace.
Hey, it's my birthday.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing
were that
internal
old.
depressurization. Equipment check.
Yeah,
Long-range
secretly.
parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high
Ooh,
pressure
a
mass.
Brit.
Cab okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings.
And fly. God be with you.
The commander missed the memo. He thinks he's in Halo. Did he have to do the flips?
Jack, I've got some important news.
Probably not, but it's still fun.
The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left
I
his
am
country
become
and his
death.
family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff.
Yo,
Finally,
could we
on
maybe not
October
end the
28th,
world? That's a dumb
Soviet
idea.
Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba. And so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust.
Duh, you stupid.
But
Let's
in order
not.
to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea.
Metal Gear.
We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital. handing him over to agents on the eastern side.
You must have loved that.
Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
So we need to infiltrate the Virgin Cliffs. If you could just wiggle around a bit, Snake, we could really work with this visual metaphor.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the
Why
west.
does that say RB?
Press it.
Oh, if I don't
That's
press
what I
it, do I
want.
die?
Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
Was it the parachute?
That is nearly always a... Let's take a look at this cutscene from first-person view.
Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov,
It's
stand
normally
by
to
at the
show you
recovery
something.
point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process
Not that you
takes
can
about
see
20
much of
minutes.
that mask on.
Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the
Yeah,
arm
going
can
up.
handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Why would we have our briefing chat?
Home in time for dinner.
Oh,
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
oh good. Something goes wrong and we're teasing a new mechanic. Never mind, combat landing.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be
Major Zero.
Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of
no.
infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality.
Is it?
In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked
Yes,
me
it's
if
the
I like
reference you're
snakes.
thinking
I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No.
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
Well, Snake, that sounds like a you
To
problem.
climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
I like how it didn't call him by his name until he gave us his name, and it just said Major Zero until then. Or is that his real name, and I just caught it? Who knows?
You'll have to wait and see.
Food options map. Camouflage backpack cure. Let me get situated here. Show area map. Not fucking much to see just yet. Can't zoom out any further. Can zoom in. I assume it's the sort of map that fills itself in as you visit areas. Options are the same thing as before, so you can't save from menu. Food. We have Calorie Mate. Not eaten yet. Taste unknown. Brilliant. It is a balanced food block. RB to view it.
I've never actually tried Calorie Mate, but I really want to.
In real life, I assume.
Yeah, it's an actual thing.
I thought you were about to say no. You play this game on like purist mode, and you only ever eat what you hunt, and you never ever take rations. You have never ever seen what the text reads after Snake has eaten one, and when I eat one, your mind is going to be blown by the informational revelation. In fact,
Considering it was product placement,
purify your experience so you'll be covering the screen with your hand whenever it comes up.
yes.
Or maybe you meant something in real life. What restaurants does this guy think we may be going to in this place that we have to order Snake? And then we can check ourselves out, I guess. We can't make him do anything, but...
Oh, you can if you spin him really, 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 really fast.
Faster than this?
Just keep doing it for a bit. And then when you exit, he'll do something.
Has it been long enough?
I don't know. I can never get the timing right. It'll do it, but just at random, seemingly,
Okay.
for me.
Well... Didn't seem to have affected him. I assume he gets dizzy.
It's when you exit the menu.
Well, I just got an achievement. Ralph called. Make Snake throw up. Thanks.
You're welcome.
26% of people have that.
And if you notice, you've actually lost a lot of stamina doing that.
How do I get that back?
You have to eat.
Great. Well, I got an achievement. That's a good thing. We like those. Oh! Which... oh, not that one.
Snake,
And
What
death
happened?
one.
Snake!
Oh, by the way, wait on this menu for a second.
Normally, the X button SIM key?
Thought you'd like that.
Is that where it ends? It doesn't keep moving after that.
Yeah, it's done.
Time paradox. Well, I got my stamina back. Stop going to menu. Didn't ask for it that time. Okay, so I have a revival pill. Espionage pill developed by the CIA can wake up from fake death. And I have 2 calorie mates and a knife. I don't have an M9 pistol, but I assume that's in the backpack. Because they said we had a gun, but we don't have a gun. What button, or can I not access? Right, yeah. It's again, that's really silly. The menu with all of the controls should be accessible while you're playing. You shouldn't have to go to a main menu for that. So that camouflage rating is based on where I am too. Look at it. 80%
Yeah, you can...
while I'm crawling around in here.
So you'll want to adjust your face paint and uniform depending on what you're camouflaging against.
Right, and the terrains, like if we're in jungly bits, it'd be one thing, but if we're in water, it'd be another. Presumably I crawl under that, but let me just see that everything else is a dead end. Yes, looks... no. LF Med, is that healing? That is life medicine, developed by Russia. It restores life.
Yeah, because obviously we can't have rations anymore because food's now used for stamina, not health.
I was trying to pick up the mushroom, but it didn't do anything. Should I have gone backwards through that? No. But by the time I realized, I'd already committed. Button? Oh.
Snake, where do you think you're going? You can't expect to proceed with the mission without any weapons or equipment. First, you'll need to recover your backpack. It's caught on a tree to the south.
I thought I was going
Press the
towards
action
that.
button to climb the tree and retrieve your backpack. Is that clear?
Hey. Oh, it's that tree. Good shit. And this is the codex button. Okay, good. M, Major Tom.
Snake, first you need to find that backpack you lost on the way down.
Naked snake to Major Tom. Trying to climb the fucking tree. Ah, I see, it's got a viney bit.
Gotta get your bag down, face paint on.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake.
How do you know that? Have you got cameras on me?
To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Items.
Yeah, so this is
Got
basically how
Use
they
the
got around
survival
the
viewer
Snake's
backpack.
not going to have nanomachines
Yep,
in
that's
this.
right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire.
Fuck
Once
off!
its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
We're on a budget,
I have
you
to
see?
find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
His name was Hideo
Solo covert
Kojima.
actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your
Names are
name?
for friends.
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place.
If he looks like me...
She's going to be serving
She?
as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me. Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
Oh, he's down bad.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top-secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No. I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques.
Not what he's talking about.
I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top-secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You are a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake? Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit. A group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
I mean, she's not here
Yeah,
with me, is she?
I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov.
I remember.
Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
If I want to blast everybody.
Try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Yes, this is a very important, high-stakes, diplomatically sensitive mission, so we've sent a dude who needs to be reminded on the basics of CQC. Right. That was an awful lot of words, so now we have our camouflage uniforms, and I get to see if it has in fact given me all of the things I wanted. Yes. We have no paint. Woodland, +5. Black. Let's not use that one. Splitter for indoor ops. Horrifying. Green for Incredible Hulk cosplay. Brown for, I guess, blending in with sand and dirt. You know, there's got to be an area in this game where that helps you blend in. Perhaps if we were doing the Metal Gear Solid version of Bert Kreischer's The Machine. UK, France, Germany. For some reason, Italy gives us a bit of camo here.
It's the green.
Sure, if we're side on. Spain, Sweden, Japan, and of course USA. Where the fuck's Australia? How dare you?
Not important enough.
Woodland seems like the one, and I assume that the values change depending on where you are.
Yes, and it'll also change dynamically depending on where you're standing.
God.
In that area. And also whether you're standing, crawling, or crouching.
We have the Rambo outfit here. Olive drab. So I assume that I'm not supposed to have all of these immediately, but Ozcam. What I think it is? Seems like the absolute best one right now is Leaf. Black is -75. Actually, it can go into the negatives. It can make you stand out. And does this affect like a detection rate sort of thing?
It changes how far away enemies can see you.
Select equipment to place on person. Oh god. Don't quite match up. Binoculars, cigar, fake death pill. Oh, it's just in a different order on here. That's weird. But like out here, I do have all the stuff. You don't have to like. Yeah, okay. The way it was described made it sound like that in this backpack menu I have to choose things that will then appear here. But I think I can cycle through all my stuff here like normal. Right?
No. The things in your left and right menus will be affected by what you have selected in your backpack menu. So if you notice, if you select life medicine, it won't actually appear in your right left menu anymore.
But there doesn't seem to be any limit to how many I can have.
No, it's entirely for management.
Right, so basically I can choose for something to disappear if I want to simplify and get rid of stuff I don't think I'd use.
Yeah. Yeah.
For faster switching in the flies. Things. Okay.
Yes.
How do I examine the details of something in here, or am I not allowed to?
You're not allowed to.
It's super helpful. Okay, well then we'll examine the details out here.
Also, if you've noticed, the more items you have in your left and right menus, the heavier it is, and thus that will affect how fast you can actually move. And also the noise that you make.
Active sonar, sensor that detects animals with sound waves. So that's something that you wouldn't need to have on hand all the time, but would when you're trying to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Sensor that detects an object's motion, does not detect stationary objects. Consumes battery power while used. That's more for people, I guess. The revival pill I assume you would want on hand in case you ever decide to pretend to do something silly. We have 10 fake death pills. Good God. He made it sound like it was a one-use item for like a really special circumstance, but no, this is a get out of getting caught free, I guess. You just whack your tooth to wake up again. I assume that the reason for the death screen having that molding thing is that's the time limit you have to bring yourself back up.
It is, actually.
Yeah, we have the cigar, which I assume has the same use it always does, but we'll see if it has anything different. AP sensor vibrates when detecting life forms. Quick to use. Consumes battery power. All other vibration will be off. Life meds and binoculars. Okay, and then we have we don't appear to have the easy gun, which is probably for the best. I can live without it. We have the directional microphone, the trank gun, and a stibbity stabbity knife. What was it? Click L to stab. Oh wow. Onwards to the swampland. And then I have my new friends as well as the save and one space. So there's one person we haven't met. Really? God, not many contacts in this game.
Camouflage is an indispensable tool when you're sneaking.
Okay, so you're going to start tutorializing. That's good. I assume they all will in different
The gauge
topics.
below you.
Yeah. Your natural regeneration of life is slowed and your hands shake more. O2 gauge and grip gauge become shorter. Excessively low stamina can often impede your mission objectives. So, food is just for stamina, though, and you can't starve to death? Or you can?
I've never tested it.
That area is home to the reticulated python.
I don't think
The
you can. I
reticulated
think you
python
just
is said to
basically
be the
get
longest
incredibly
snake in the
shaky
world.
and it's
The
almost
biggest ones
unplayable.
can grow up to 10 meters in length. Although they're not poisonous, they're still very dangerous, so be careful around them. They have a highly ferocious temperament, and they can swallow whole, even large animals like deer and pigs. Their most distinguishing feature is the mesh pattern of their scales. This pattern acts as a highly effective natural camouflage. If you think there might be a reticulated python about, pay close attention to your surroundings. Otherwise, you could get bitten before you even know it's there. It's a huge snake, but you should be able to capture it alive by using the tranquilizer gun. I'll bet if you capture one and throw it at an enemy, it'll give him a good scare.
Right. But how do they taste?
Huh?
Do they taste good?
You're actually going to eat one.
Why else would I be asking?
Cannibal.
What was that?
Nothing. Let's see what the guide says. Ah, you're in luck. It says they taste pretty
Animal?
Good.
Oh, I
can
get
hardly
it.
Wait.
good. Ugh.
Yes, Sam.
Sokolov should be at the abandoned factory to
I'd
the
forgotten
north,
that voice
so head
line.
in that direction.
That area is inhabited by Indian gavials. The
Sorry,
Indian
Indian
gavial is a
gavial?
crocodile
I
that
can't eat
originally
those.
lived in freshwater regions in India and Nepal.
Why are Indian crocodiles way out here?
They're captive crocodiles that were brought here for research purposes but escaped and became wild again. Indian gavials are large creatures. Adult males grow to over 6 meters in length. You'll never catch one alive, even if you use the tranquilizer gun.
Got it. So, how do they...
Taste? Yes, I did look into that. You know what they always say. Tastes like chicken.
Sounds delicious.
But be careful when capturing an Indian gavial. Normally they're cowardly creatures, but the ones in the forest there are belligerent. Apparently they attack humans.
What do you mean?
They weren't the direct subject of any serious research, but some think they may have become violent as a side effect of the atomic research that was conducted nearby.
What I'm coming to understand is that this version of Snake is effectively just Yajirobe.
Eat food to recover stamina.
Thanks.
Capture plants and animals to get food.
Well, you can just get plants.
I have
then. That's
information
good.
on the local plant.
So it's not always going to be having to spend a suppressor durability in order to get a meal.
To take a
I mean, you
rest,
can
all
just
you have to
stab
do
them.
is save and exit the game.
No, I don't want to stab a
The next
crocodile.
time
That
you
feels
load
like
your
it would
save data and
cause me
continue the
more
game,
damage than it would
the
save.
stamina and life will
Well,
have
it even
recovered.
said that you cannot use
How
the
much they
tranquilizer
recover
gun
depends on how long
on
of a
the
rest
crocodiles
you
because
take.
they're too...
So the longer
True.
I rest, the
Big.
more I'll recover.
That's right. If you're so exhausted that you don't even have the strength
It's
to
health.
find
It's
food,
good if you capture
save
stuff
the game
alive
and take a rest.
because obviously you can throw it at people, which is nice. But you can also keeps it fresh. Let's just say.
Did she just suggest that that when you save and quit, the longer you go without playing this game, when you come back, you'll be healthier?
Yeah, it was.
Snake,
It's
intelligence
basically a
indicates
gimmick
that
to
that area is outside the enemy's
the
cordon.
fact that
So
this
you shouldn't
game
have any
interacts or
unexpected encounters
interacted
with enemy patrols.
with the PS2's
I think it would be a
internal
good
clock.
idea to take this time to get accustomed to using your camouflage, hunting for food, and navigating the survival viewer. If you have any questions about camouflage or CQC, ask the boss.
I would, but I can't
Paramedic
actually
is the
ask
medical
questions. I
correspondent
just
for this
click the
mission.
button and she gives me
Ask
a
her about
randomly
hunting for food
selected
and medical treatment.
speech.
Also, she has documents detailing flora and fauna in the operation.
I'll probably... I'll do a few more of these, but I'm not going to listen to the voice acting, just to not make it
Snake,
take forever.
intelligence.
Okay,
I'll be right back.
you're repeating. Alright, that's fine. You shouldn't have any unexpected encounters. It's time to get accustomed to camouflage, accustomed to hunting. Hello?
Snake,
There it is.
you will encounter Baltic hornets' nests in that area. Baltic hornets are a variety of hornets that inhabit that area. The difference between them and other hornets is that they produce honey in their nests. Inside the nests are larvae, pupa, and adults. You can eat them all. In particular, the honey you find inside the nest is delicious and full of nutrients. It's easy to digest and helps pep you up when you're feeling tired. In short, it's the perfect survival food. Honey can also be used as a burn ointment. When honey is applied to a burn, it creates a protective coating over the skin. When you knock down a hornet's nest, a burn ointment will appear along with it, so don't forget to pick it up. Of course, the hornets aren't going to give up their nest without a fight. If you knock a nest down, a large swarm of hornets will come flying out.
Really?
So be
No
careful.
shit! Yeah, Yajirobe is introduced to Dragon Ball. I think he's the only person who, like, wins a fight against an enemy and then proceeds to cook and eat the enemy. Granted, the enemy was a kind of dragon man, so it's like, you know... He didn't eat a human, but, like, there is a line when Goku is unconscious and he thinks he's dead, where he says to himself, well, guess I better bury him. He doesn't look tasty after all.
I see you have a calorie mate.
Calorie mate?
The thing you're holding now?
Oh, the little block that looks like a cookie?
Try it, it's pretty good.
Okay. But what is this thing? Never seen anything like it.
Calorie Mate is an energy supplement that contains all the proteins, lipids, vitamins, carbohydrates, and minerals needed for a balanced diet. It's a well-balanced food. Because of that, it's just perfect for giving your body the nutrition it needs in combat.
It sounds like a space-age food.
Real astronaut food is not very good, but that should taste fine.
Yeah, and it'll help balance out all this jungle food I'm eating.
It's easy and quick to eat, so it's perfect when you're running late for an important mission in the morning.
I've never been late for a mission.
Really? Aren't you always keeping people waiting?
Huh?
It's easy to keep track of your calorie intake and receive the nutrition your body needs, so it's good for losing weight, too. All of the geisha girls in Japan use it for watching their calories.
Is that why they're all so slim?
Right. And any diet where you eat nothing at all is bad for the body.
I see. You seem to know a lot about Japan, don't you?
Yes, I love Japan.
But does Japan love you?
Snake, that area should be inhabited by tree frogs. The tree frog is a green frog that's found throughout Asia. It's arboreal, spending most of its time in shrubs
How
and
many
bushes.
fucking animals are in this wood?
Use the tranquilizer gun to catch one alive. I bet you could scare an enemy good if you toss one at him. But the tree frogs that live in that jungle are a lot bigger than ordinary tree frogs.
They've got an appetite, huh?
You've got a one-track mind, don't you? But seriously, that is one theory. However, there are people who think it's a mutation caused by nuclear testing and waste from the research facility.
Do you think they're safe to eat?
Is that all you ever think about?
What else is there?
Lots.
Like what?
Like why a frog would get so big in the first place. Whether it's a temporary phenomenon created by a unique environment, or a permanent mark of evolution, or a product of the toxic waste coming out of the research facility. If it is the waste that's causing it, then it means humans are interfering with the ecosystem. It really makes you think about the changing relationship between...
This isn't interesting.
Oh, fine. Be that way.
So, how about it?
You mean, is it edible?
Yeah,
Well, I guess it's probably okay.
probably.
I don't know. The guide doesn't say anything.
Pretty useless guide if you ask me.
Well, try one for dinner and you can help improve it. Snake, that area is inhabited by magpies.
Yeah.
Magpies are members of the crow family. They're distinguishable by their beautiful dark blue and white bodies and their long tails.
They also like smacking
Their
you in
favorite
the
food
head.
is insects, but they'll also eat small fish, acorns, and fruit. They're omnivores, which means...
They'll eat anything.
Right, just like you, huh? If you use the tranquilizer gun, you should be able to capture magpies alive.
Okay.
How
So
do
how
they
do they
taste?
taste?
You always ask me that.
Naturally. So,
Answer
I've
faster.
never heard of anybody actually eating a magpie, but I suppose there's no reason you couldn't.
you don't say.
Oh. To eat food, press the start button to
Yeah,
enter
man,
the
I think this
survival
man
viewer,
knows how to
then
eat food. Don't worry. I think he knows how to eat food. Don't leave food for too long or it'll rot. Oh boy.
You should be able to find Siberian inkcap mushrooms growing in that area. The
I did see a
Siberian
mushroom. I didn't know
inkcap
how
is
to
a
pick it up.
mushroom from the inkcap family. Its life cycle is transitory. As soon as the spores mature, the cap starts to turn black, liquefy, and melt away.
And that's why they call it an ink cap?
That's right. It doesn't really turn to liquid, but you get the idea. In its immature state, before it melts away, it's valued as a source of food. Just be sure not to eat them while you're drinking alcohol.
Why's that?
Ink caps contain coprin, which inhibits the function of aldehyde dehydrogenase. This prevents the body from breaking down alcohol, causing a buildup of acetaldehyde.
Meaning?
Meaning it will give you the hangover from hell.
Oh. Wait a minute.
What?
You think I'd drink alcohol in the middle of a mission?
Wouldn't you?
Hell no.
Well, I'm knocking a shot back now.
What?
Just teasing you. Oh, come on. Where's your sense of humor?
I need a drink.
Have we found everything in the area yet, or have we got another 10 of these?
Paramedic.
What's up?
Are you a medic or a doctor?
I'm
I come
a
back on a very
well-respected
Gav
physician.
line.
Or I was until I joined the CIA.
How is your reputation?
My what?
How's your reputation?
Your reputation.
Oh, that.
How was it?
Why? Don't you trust me?
That's not what I meant.
Fine then.
So,
So what?
your reputation, how was it?
My, you're relentless.
Hey, I'm a snake. So,
My reputation was spotless. I'm highly skilled, patient, and good looking to boot. Everybody wanted to see me. What else would you expect? No, seriously.
Incidentally, her nickname back then was Quack.
Major.
is that true?
Is what true?
About your nickname.
No. Well, maybe a few people did call me that.
So you were a quack.
No. Well, yes and no. I mean, in a sense I was, but then again I wasn't.
Snake, her skills as a doctor are beyond reproach. You have my word on that.
Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say, Snake.
Then why did they call her quack?
It's because she...
Never mind that. It doesn't matter. We've got a job to do and we have to stay focused. Besides, my past doesn't have anything to do with the mission and...
Because she never shuts up.
Yes, that's it.
No, that's not it. Snake, tell him that's not true. Say something.
I'd better get back to the mission.
Yes, you do that.
Just a minute. Snake, don't you hang up on me. Snake, there's a fruit called the Golova growing in that area.
Golova?
Yeah, it's a fruit that's found only in that region. It's related to the jackfruit, which...
Okay. Jackfruit. Oh, you're calling me a cannibal again because it's a jackfruit. Golova means head in Russia because the fruit grows to about the size of a human head. The fruit itself is fairly large, so you could make a meal out of it. Like, I do want to know all of the stuff that I can potentially pick up, that's why I'm going through all of these, but damn
If
it.
you have any questions...
Any questions about stamina and healing? Sorry, why does that just say you won't be able to see me naked? Okay, but 50 years from now you'll be able to see who you're talking to on the radio. I'll be retired from active duty by then. Somebody somewhere might just decide to give you a call. Go back into MGS2 and try her codex frequency.
Say, Snake, about that helmet and oxygen mask you took off right after you parachuted in?
Oh, those? Those are the helmet assembly and oxygen system assembly I used to make the halo jump. The helmet is fitted with a bayonet fastener that attaches to the oxygen mask. It's also got earphones and a boom mic.
I'm not interested in all that stuff.
So why did you bring it up?
It reminds me of something.
Reminds you of something.
Yeah.
The mask.
Yeah, but I can't remember what it is, and I can't stop thinking about it.
That's what you've been thinking about?
Yeah, every time I'm about to remember it, it slips away from me again. Don't you just hate that?
Mm-hmm.
I know I've seen it somewhere before. Any ideas?
How would I...
That's it!
What?
The fly!
The fly?
Yeah, it finally came to me. You look just like him. Ah, I feel better.
The fly?
From the movie, The Fly? You've never seen it?
No.
Jeez, where have you been? It's about this scientist who's conducting teleportation experiments when he gets mixed up with a fly and ends up with the fly's head attached to his body.
Never heard of it.
That's too bad. It's a good movie.
Alright. Francis York Paramorgan, let's move on.
When you get hurt, your body will heal itself naturally over time. However, the speed at which your life recovers depends on how much stamina you...
Very tutorial-y. Yes, yes. Eat food, get more stamina.
You should be able to find...
Alright, you're repeating yourself. Good. I'm finished with you.
Visibility is poor in the jungle, so you'll be finding yourself in a lot of unexpected encounters. Naturally, this means that close quarters combat will be more important than ever.
Any chances to use CQC. Engaging your opponent hand-to-hand can be a faster, more reliable way of subduing him. You'll end up giving yourself the enemy. Yes. Okay, this is less super important right now. She's more combat tutorial, so I might move on from there. Given I have played the first two and will feel out the differences, and also I'm on easy anyway, so...
Saving the game, Snake?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Checking storage device. Do not turn off your console. Wow, they took absolutely
Hey,
no
Snake, you ever heard
care
of
on this.
Godzilla King of Monsters?
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version, too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course! Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know.
Please don't.
When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
Blue Moon, do you also operate the save load feature for a covert stealth operative in the army? Why? Oh, there's the rest of my screen. Good. I'm just half expecting to run into an enemy of some... Well, not an enemy, but an animal or something. There's butterflies. I don't think I can eat those. Oh god. What the fuck are you? Hello? I do like the camera in this game. Like, you can absolutely go traditional view, but then you can just move it, and now it's, you know... I don't know what that was, but it's gone now. I think that's a crocodile. Hang on a moment. Let's see if we can kill it.
Do you want to save?
I do. What do you reckon, Sam? Do you reckon I'll win against a crocodile?
Snake?
Always. You're always one to kill a fellow Gav.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Now I feel bad. Not bad enough to stop, but bad. I don't know what it is about this game that makes me skip dialogue when I'm usually a dialogue non-skipper, but I think it's the fact that so much of the dialogue is so deeply irrelevant. It's not bad, it's just very weighty, and it's like, you know, I just saved my game because there's a thing I want to do, and now here's 3 minutes of people talking. I just don't want that right now.
Very, very exposition-y and world-building focusy.
Yeah, which is very
That's-
good for, like, personal time playthrough, but when it's literally just her doing her movie trivia shtick, I think I can skip that.
Dima is basically the Tolkien of the video game world.
It's got an achievement for a camouflage index of plus 90%. Anyway. Whoa! Bug juice. I want it. Step down!
You deadass just died to a crocodile.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Your passport needs to be revoked. Holy fuck. Wow.
That would prevent me from leaving Australia, not prevent me from being in it.
Okay, you should be deported and then have your passport removed.
There's the bug juice. I was wondering what gave me bug juice.
You're gonna end up like Tom Hanks in The Terminal.
Doesn't seem to have noticed me apart from the smacking. Fuck, they got a lot of health, these pricks.
Mate, it's a 6-foot crocodile. No, not 6 foot, 6 meter crocodile. Gonna be a bit tanky.
It doesn't seem very self-preservation-ful. Oh, there we... Now, I think I died in the mud. I'm not
Well, I mean-
fully certain.
If you crawl through the mud, you'll kill yourself, yeah.
Crawl, okay. Anyway, we have the Indian Gavial, 3 of them, which is weird because we only killed one of the fuckers, but I guess the idea is each of it is the third of a crocodile. So I now have 5 chunks of food, which is a lot for the fact that my stamina seems full, so I'm not going to do any other hunting right now.
Yep. Also beware it can go rotten.
Yes. Which is why I wouldn't get any more.
Saving the game, Snake?
Felt a little bit cheap the way I killed that thing, but it was it was successful. So.
Yeah, it's like the Vamp boss fight in MGS2. Same vibes.
Have I heard if it came from outer space? Yeah, you told me already. So the astronomer sees a meteor, but it's really an alien spaceship, and the aliens start replacing the townspeople with clones and forcing them to help repair the ship. The 3D effects were quite realistic. You don't get it, precisely because it's realistic, with the images jumping out of the screen at you. It makes for a nice escape from reality. Yeah, it's good to have some escapism from time to time. Except for the escapist, of course, which is now dead. I have to admit it made my eyes tired, but it was really intense. But they don't make many of those movies. Well, maybe not in the 60s they didn't. God, they're really leaning into the whole, writing from the perspective of the 60s, but with the knowledge of what's to come. And, ooh, in 40 years, you'll be able to do this, and that, and everything else. Whoa! Make movies where you control the character. Oh my god. Make sure you stay alive to see it. I mean, isn't Big Boss dead by the time of MGS 1 and 2? And the whole thing about, like... Yeah, the whole thing in MGS 1 was, like, they wanted his remains. Like, that's the interesting thing, because, like, from what I can tell, this man, the man we are currently playing, prior to this game at least, his involvement in the Metal Gear series, and he doesn't really appear in Solid 1 and 2, he's a figure in the 2D originals, but he's the fucking bad guy. He turns into a terrorist. He's not a good man, and here we are as him. So that's an interesting... we'll see where this goes. It doesn't look like I can skip walking through the mud. I suppose I just want to, like, avoid the crocodiles. I saved, so let's just do this and hope we don't die. Yeah, walking through the mud does not murder you. Oh, there we go, that's good. Bullets, that was. Good. The crocodiles don't seem to give a shit, like they're not hostile. Unless you...
That wasn't bullets, that was a suppressor.
I thought it was already suppressed.
You have 14 suppressors that can run out over time. And you can find more.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Which is what will allow me to shoot other animals if I wanted to, like... if I wanted to catch a living snake or something. Which I should give a shot at a bit later. Bullets are full, I see. Okay, we're getting our bearings. Yeah, you just find random suppressors in the jungle. Of course! Everybody's suppressed in the jungle. That looks like a snake. How do I gun again? Yeah. Can I keep it? Capture an animal alive. Snake H. They're going to be in backpack then. No. Food? Yeah, captured alive, not eaten yet, taste unknown. It said I could throw it. Did it not?
Yeah, you can throw it at an enemy.
Right, so how do I queue it up to be thrown at an enemy? Because it's not in the backpack menu, it's in the food menu. Which...
You select it from the food menu.
Okay.
When you want to throw it.
Well. Also a fruit up there, but I don't know how you'd reach it. You could shoot it
turns out
down, I suppose.
It turns out Big Boss is just a massive gourmand. And that's actually what he came here to do. He's not bothered about, you know, the fights between US and Russia.
No. No, I guess because this is a brand new mechanic, I'm interested in it, especially, but we'll keep going. Dremuchij. Russian place. North.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. You can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
Sure.
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer.
Really? I was going to
The
change my
uniform
camouflage
option
by
lets you pick
selecting
your
dildo.
uniform, while the face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed.
Sorry, was that directly for me? For my benefit,
You can see how
boss?
effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Be one with nature. Of course, we immediately stand up. Alright. Any other tips, boss?
Camouflage is an indispensable...
You just said that. This is exactly what you just buggering said.
Visibility is poor in the jungle.
Yeah, I've already had that one. Plenty of reasons to use my CQC. Close quarter wombat.
You can only use CQC to grab enemies when your right hand is free to grab and pull them toward you. In other words, when you're barehanded or equipped with a one-handed weapon like a survival knife or a handgun.
Right, so you can't
You
grab
won't be
people
able
when
to
you got a
grab hold
rocket
of
launcher in
enemies
your
when
face.
equipped with two-handed weapons, such as the assault rifle or weapons such as hand grenades that don't leave your right hand free to control the enemy.
So in other words, I can't throw enemies with CQC when I'm holding an assault rifle or a hand grenade.
Exactly. Don't forget it. I see you're wearing the leaf pattern camouflage. The leaf pattern was developed to provide cover in forest environments. The U.S. military isn't the only one using it. Countries that anticipate operating in forest environments are developing various types of patterns, each suited to the vegetation of the particular region. The Soviets and the Eastern European countries all use their own unique patterns. Leaf pattern camo will give you an especially low profile in areas of thick vegetation.
That makes sense.
You're wearing the woodland face paint, I see. The woodland face paint is designed for use in forests.
Yes, much like the uniform.
Normally, you would ask a fellow soldier how well your camouflage is working. But this is a solo sneaking mission, so nobody out there is on your side.
You could ask one of the
You
enemies.
have to determine how well your camouflage is working by yourself.
Yeah,
But I have a
know.
meter in the top right.
Don't
Gives
worry,
me a percentage
that's
value.
what the camo index is for.
Yeah, the one you're currently pointing
the camo
out.
index tells you...
Okay. If you're in an area where encounters are a high concern, keep your camo index high. I do like it. I like that there's a whole bunch of different, like, sensible choices for different
In my day,
environments. It's, since World War II, mostly snatch missions. That's where you abduct an enemy officer without killing him. Snatch mission has something to do with rigging a boxing match in England and getting threatened by a blonde-haired bastard with a couple missing teeth. And a snatch mission taking the target's escorts by shooting them is not an option. If the enemy hears the gunshot, they'll tighten security. Either way, take out the guards to secure the target without making sound. So we developed the CQC style for quiet smackerinos. Why didn't you tell me this before? Why now? I have my reasons. Interesting.
Do you want to save?
I do. Because we're about to encounter human beings, which means I'm probably going to get my ass caught. Or maybe I'll win.
Hey, Snake, have you ever seen Forbidden Planet?
Yeah, okay.
No, can't say I have.
It's about this expedition that goes to the planet Altair 4 in an ultra-fast spaceship. When they arrive, they meet the survivor of the last expedition, Dr.
Morbius!
Dr. Morbius was exploring the planet along with his daughter Altera and the versatile Robbie the robot. Ignoring the doctor's warnings, the expedition team is suddenly attacked by an invisible creature called the Monster from the Id. The special effects they used for the science stuff were really neat. I wish I had a robot like Robbie that could make anything I wanted it to.
I'm more interested in that invisible monster. If I were invisible, I wouldn't have to bother hiding or wearing camouflage.
Maybe someday you'll be able to turn invisible.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask you, does this game have the dog tags collectible stuff as well, or is that done away with?
That's done away with.
Thank fuck!
The reason why it was an MGS2 is because basically the game was all about identity,
Yeah.
so it worked.
It was thematically appropriate. I'm not trying to hug trees, I'm trying to search the grasses for...
Huh? Who's that?
Oh god. Fucking...
Who's that?
I was trying to leave!
Well, that didn't take long.
This is HQ.
No, there's no enemy. I'm in the swamp now. There's no such thing as enemy. Okay, let's go back. Wait, that's the wrong way. Okay. Let's get my trank gun. I forget, does he wake up?
You will do, yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, not now, but...
I'll probably pass through this area fast enough.
Who's that? Radio, we
Whoa.
need backup.
Fuck's sake.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements.
I'm not here. Oh, bug juice. What does that even do? Hang on, hunt me later. I'm checking bug juice. Is that a form of food? It's not in here and it's not in there. Is it in here? Well, whatever it is, it's invisible. Don't look in the hollowed out tree. No one's here.
HQ, HQ. This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the intruder, going into high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
sleeping guy's still asleep. They haven't woken him up. I'd like it if the camera wouldn't force itself like this when I'm in the bushes. 'Cause that's a much better view, but also a lot less cover. The enemies seem to be heading off to the right, so let's us go to the left. Hey, buddy. Can I, jostle you? Ooh, no, that's not jostling. I'm just gonna do this. This seems safer. Really, the area does seem clean. No, no, it didn't. They're going away. Kind of. Get up. Shake. Smoke grenade. Interesting. I think these are things that don't default to... Oh, here it all is. It's just not listed where I can see it in weapon. There's bug juice. Okay, so I have 8 slots. 8 out of 8, 3 out of 8. Right, okay. What does... I don't know that I'd use all these motion detector things when I can, Let's see what bug juice does, and let's also add... the grenades and some of the food. A bug repellent keeps away hornets and leeches. Okay, that's good. And grenade is loud and dangerous. Smoke grenade is blind and stealthy. So I imagine smoke grenade will be.
This is HQ.
Control here. No problems.
Understood.
Fuck, there he is. Hang on.
This is HQ.
Control here. We have evidence of an enemy intruder. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. Keep your eyes open.
Maybe I should be killing people. But then again, that might make them scared or... I don't think there's anything over here to be found or picked up. Yeah, let's just continue on our way. Let's eat something, because we've got lots of food, and there's like half a bar of stamina missing. Or should I wait until the full bar's gone? I'd like to know what the crocodile tastes like. We have 3 of it.
Not too bad.
Indian caviar was tasty. Good to know. How's the map looking? Oh. Not much. I guess the map is like per area. The map's a bit crap.
As you might expect in the 60s.
Yeah, I suppose so. Vibrates and detecting life forms. I mean, that might be useful, but... Let's see how it works. Let's be careful as we approach this bridge. Bad things happen on rickety wooden bridges in the jungle. Such as falling down. That is a beep.
Or filming terrible reality shows.
Whoa, hello, my guy. Hello, both. All four guys. Oh, dear.
Who's that?
No one. Whoa. That bridge doesn't really look crossable with all those people.
Oh, it is.
HQ, please respond.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. The situation is normal.
Okay, situation normal. That might make them leave. There we go. Oh shit, no, this dude. Why is it always two to make them drop? Or am I just being impatient and they drop after the first shot?
Well, we all know you're very impatient.
No, don't do that. Pick him up. I'm glad I have 14 suppressors and they all take a bunch of shots, because... Now, how do I grab a mushroom?
Stab it.
I did see something under the bridge. Do you know the button to drop down without dying?
Yeah, it's the same button to drop down while dying, except you catch yourself by pressing the triangle.
Okay. Whoa! Yeah, it sounds like Elon Musk's child's name. What is that? A new weapon, I think. Hold in first-person view and shoulder aim. Toggle firing mode with Y. Put on-off suppressor with A. We don't have it. We have to look at it in the, I want to get out.
It's an assault rifle.
Yeah! Oh, good. You know, I probably could have gone this way, hey?
Where's the fun in that?
That sounded like a man waking up. Oh no, it's just you. Get up. You have to get up twice because the first one just moves into crouch and then that defaults to crawl when you start moving. May I see the... Yeah. Moving on. With my life. Okay, let's take a look at my backpack. I picked up... Yeah, a rifle. I don't see myself using it until or unless the game forces combat. So we'll swap it out instead of the loud grenade for the same reason. I'd be more likely to use the smoke or stun grenade in a pinch. But yeah, in a game this old, I'm still more inclined to just knock everybody out than try to sneak past them, because sneaking past them seems really, really annoying.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. Security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
Okay. Here.
You want to save?
Mm-hmm.
Snake, have you seen Earth versus the Spider?
Nope.
It's about this spider that suddenly mutates into a giant monster. They bring it into the city in a state of hibernation, but it wakes up and starts wrecking the place.
So why did the spider turn huge?
I told you, it suddenly mutated.
Yeah, right.
But why?
Snake, it's people like you that take all the fun out of watching movies. Always nitpicking and taking things too seriously. Honestly, why even bother? Look.
Okay, it's nice that they call out
that
Sam as well
bit.
as me in this game.
Then what is important?
The fact that there's a huge spider destroying the city.
I mean, ow, but you're not
Suspend your
wrong.
disbelief. That's the whole point of movies.
So she's evil then, huh?
I see you caught yourself a reticulated python.
I know, I'm so good.
The reticulated python is said to be the longest snake in the world. The biggest ones can grow up to 10 meters in length. Although they're not poisonous, they're still very dangerous, so be careful around them. They have a highly ferocious temperament, and they can swallow whole, even large animals like deer and pigs. Their most distinguishing feature is the mesh pattern of their scales. This pattern acts as a highly effective natural camouflage. If you think there might be a reticulated python about, pay close attention to your surroundings. Otherwise, you could get bitten before you even know it's there.
Right. But how do they taste?
Huh?
Do they taste good?
You're actually going to eat one.
What?
We've already listened to that, but it started off different because she started off saying, "Oh, you've caught one," rather than, "Hey, there's some in the area." And I'm mostly joking here, but if somebody mysteriously goes off comms and a reason hasn't presented itself, my go-to is that they're evil. We'll see why the boss is not with us. Maybe the game will tell us later, maybe it won't. But we have a save file, and now we head in, I guess, to Sokolov. Or they're dead. That seems awfully quick. That's true. I'm Big Boss. If they're a bad guy in this game, they might actually be a good guy because I'm the bad guy. Oh god.
Well, at this point, you're just a soldier in the U.S. Army. You're not evil in the slightest.
It's an argument to be made there, but yeah.
Okay, from the point of view of the game.
Jesus, do they ever turn around? Let's just try and make it. To the greenery. I wonder if our camo effectiveness is going to change when we enter the building. Well, the wreckage. Can I use this to, like... Yeah, see what this area looks like. Because the camera wouldn't let me look that way. There's a snake there. Casually taking an animal while infiltrating a building. I'm doing actual stealth rather than tranquilizing everybody. Is there better camo for this area right here? Japan! Why not?
Soviet Union.
I look like I'm wearing a clown nose. That's a suppressor for the new gun. Which is, I believe, an assault rifle. Fascinating. No, keep going. Don't stand up because he's facing this way. And there's something there too. We should be able to walk here because we've got cover. Oh, fuck. That is a 12 gauge shotgun. That feels like it's probably going to be unsuppressed. Can I not climb over this? Please. Damn it. Okay. Oops. What was the trigger for...
No one here after all.
Oh no, he's just leaving. Nice. And is there anything under that? No. Well, go on. Through the little wall hole. Let's see anybody else. He's probably in there. Don't know why I'm backwards crawl. No, hang on. Let me fucking.
Something there.
Yes, it's me. I am.
I must be seen.
I can't stop backwards crawling. There we go. Rats and snakes, and so the balance shakes. Wonder if the snake can hurt you.
Well, I mean, it's a reticulated python, so it's not venomous.
I'm not a snake expert. I don't think there's any... No. It can constrict. Game mechanic-wise, maybe not. Is that a ladder? Can I got that? Yes. And... I can see down here. Can I drop down here? There is a man right there. That's louder than I wanted, but we did it. Life. We like life. Oh no, go down, go down, go down. Maybe I should have played the first two games a bit more like this. Or maybe this one's just designed better, I don't know. Oh dear. Oh dear.
What happened?
Drop, motherfuckers! Hi, I'm busy
Major,
right now.
I'm in front of Sokolov's cell, but the door won't open.
Hold on, Snake. What's the current condition?
Condition?
Bad!
Yeah. What phase is it now?
Alert.
Exactly. I already said you can't contact Sokolov during battle. Don't you listen to people when they're talking? Well, anyway,
I didn't know that
the
was his
reason
door. I was
won't
trying to get
open
out
is
of the
probably
building.
because Sokolov is blocking it himself. He's scared, and no wonder. In order to break Sokolov out of there, you'll need his cooperation as well. So stop scaring him. Contact Sokolov later after you've disengaged the enemy. Once things have stabilized, try it again. Got it?
I thought his name was Tom.
I love how in this game, rather than being sort of all, oh wow, you're the legendary Snake, it's just like, go get him.
Motherfucker.
Stop being annoying. You're useless.
Okay, so we do have 14 suppressors. The suppressor's just off now. Fuck it, just use this. to get out of here, but I don't have a...
I mean, Zero's British, of course he's condescending.
Actually... Nope. Nope, we're not done. Buttons. Whatever. Well, this is the first one I've played not on an emulator with save states. And I'm glad of that, because I think the other games were a little bit too old and clunky, but this one's... This one feels a bit better? I don't know, maybe 2 would have felt good in this version, but... I thought they said you required a controller, because my mouse is actually making this move. We'll see what happens if I go back to the first 2 in the Master Collection, but basically I played 1 and 2 before the Master Collection came out. So I didn't have a choice, really. Unless I wanted to wait till October. And then when 3 came out, everything I read about on emulating it suggested that the pressure-sensitive controls in the PS2 version would be really annoying to play on an emulator where the game thinks you have pressure-sensitive controls, but you don't have pressure-sensitive controls. That would be, like, severely problematic, so... Can I open these? No. Can I? Don't seem to. Anyway. It also seems to be a lot less punishing. Maybe it's because I'm playing on easy difficulty, but, like, I was actually able to sort of defeat these guys instead of having, the alerts just be endless. Is that a case of this being MGS3, or is that a case of the difficulty level, Sam?
It's a case of this is still the tutorial, technically.
Oh, great.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men?
Dressed like an idiot.
You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thaddeus Ross?
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the Army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Damn it, Magneto.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power.
Showing live-action news footage always makes it feel more real. It feels like Command and Conquer, which...
The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
tracks with its esteem in Sam's
The
eyes.
soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me.
Yeah, so like games that reference real events.
Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so?
So we're hearing English, but they're
America's
speaking
truly
Russian.
a frightening country.
Yes. Also, could you imagine Sokolov's reaction if you actually walked in with a Soviet Union face paint?
Let's go.
I wonder if there's a variant cutscene for that, but probably not.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I had to kill them. There was no other way. But no one will know we were involved.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Now I imagine that dialogue changes if you whether you get into a fight or not. Because like if
It
you
does,
manage to
yeah.
sneak in there, he'll say so. Although this cutscene isn't rendering in the 9 bodies. On your right. And your left.
Freeze!
So this is the legendary boss.
Oh, fuck!
Huh? We meet at last.
Oh, you look considerably less cool when you're young.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz.
Huh.
What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Need to grow your hair out, mate.
If you notice, though, not a revolver.
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Josh Keaton.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
The spurs, though. I mean, like... That's not regulation.
You've seen him in the last 3 games. Does he really seem like the kind of guy who's bothered about regulation?
Can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the Gru.
Sokolov, take cover.
No shit!
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. What the fuck?
I mean, he's an ocelot.
Crew operatives?
What is that stance?
I don't know, but the camera's shaking.
Huh. That gun.
Am I being bullied?
If you're not the boss, then die.
He just get betrayed by his own hand. We're about 40 years too early for that. Nice scream,
Major!
coward!
Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
Oh, I'm glad this is a cutscene, because I would never be this fucking smooth. Like, the problem is, he doesn't look cool in this outfit. Tranked. Is the boss off sniping in the distance?
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place.
Oh, God.
You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
I will be taking notes, but still die!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
He assumed that he heard about it because he tried the technique and failed.
Good.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you alright?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgin.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov.
Yeah, they grew a colonel.
Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgin's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
She even unlocked Young Gun. Submit Ocelot. How many have we got so far? Wait, did it just unpause itself? Stop it. Stop it! I'm trying to shift tab for the Steam overlay, but it's, There, okay. If I open the Steam overlay while it's not paused, it will pause. If I open the Steam overlay while it's paused, it will fucking resume. The point is... Four achievements out of 51, okay. So we're not going to be 100%ing this, but I think we already knew that. Okay, so there is an as I scroll down here, because, you know, the spoilery achievements are going to be hidden, right? I do see one that makes me laugh. It's called Problem Solved Series Over, and the description is Create the Ocelot Time Paradox. Which I must assume involves killing him. Alright. That would solve a lot of problems. I've only played 1 and 2, to be clear. We're sort of playing these in order, but, like... I won't be playing any more until until either Master Collection Volume 2 comes out and includes what we expect it to include, or it doesn't, in which case I'll have to find an alternate way to play the rest. But I refuse to play things out of release order. Even though the chronology is different, I think it's...
Also, since Ocelot's on the ground there, you do have the ability to get that achievement.
I'm aware I do have a knife.
I know.
It's probably going to game over me, though, because you're not supposed to kill him, right? I guess I could just shoot him in the head. I tell you what. I will save. And then I will...
You want to save?
Blast.
Hold on a sec.
Yeah, my main...
Snake, have you seen the movie Them?
No.
It's about these giant ants that appear in the desert of New Mexico after a nuclear test. The army tries to fight them off with flamethrowers. The ants were so big that they filled up the entire screen. The whole movie theater was screaming.
An ant that big could make a good meal.
Yeah, well, if you find any, don't eat them.
Come on, they're not that bad for you.
If you end up growing huge like that, you won't have any place left to hide.
Just like a Gurlugon.
Yeah, my main resistance against playing a series in chronological order as opposed to release order is usually due to mechanics evolution, with the idea being that, except in rare cases where a series fucks itself up, usually the games get better and more comfortable to play the newer they get. The only time that would be an exception is in something like Yakuza, where they remade the earlier chronological ones in more modern style, so there's really no... well, I guess Yakuza 3, but the series is largely approachable at all times. Whereas something like this, if I have, for example, decided to start with this game, I might have had a good time with it, but then when I played Metal Gear Solid 1, I'd be in hell. Nope, I haven't looked at anything for the remake of this because I've only just started playing this today, so looking at remake footage would not have meant much to me and might have, spoiled me on things. I wouldn't play the remake of this until I played, 4 and 5, Anyway, I've saved my game, so now... This is the trank, isn't it? Hang on. You know what? I know what I want to use on him. Go big or go home, yeah? What's popping? I don't know. Anyway.
Snake, what have you done? You changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
Yeah, but his head didn't blow up into giblets, so I'm a little bit sad about that. Osilo is dad. Jetlo is sad dad. CeeLo is sad dad. Ilo Asadixid. Wait, was that fucking Paul Eiding?
Yes, it was.
I didn't even think about it. You're right. So the point there is that he won't have kids.
Chop off his hand and keep him alive, but that'll still cause a paradox.
I did lose some bullets there, but like I have 159 bullets. I think I'll be all right.
I mean, you say that now.
What's the time looking like? Tell you what, I'm gonna quickly get up. I will be back in like 2 minutes. But there is something I gotta do. Wait, how do I get out of game? Hello? Mouse? Oh, there it is. I was pressing Alt Caps Lock instead of Alt Tab. That's why it wasn't letting me out. So yeah, I will be right back. There we go. Everything's taken care of. And I'm back. What was I going to say? Let's have a mushroom, because we are almost out of a bar of stamina there.
Disgusting.
The mushroom sucks!
Can't. Oh.
And someone fires the gift sub laser. Thank you very much. Snip Aaron Gigalore got a gift sub there, as well as a name I don't recognize, so presumably a lurkerly type. And rocking in, that's the Regolith developer. Thank you for the follow. Ew, Stinky Hadokens. Fascinating username there. We're going to be playing this every Saturday, but I do stream other games throughout the week. I'm doing a Baldur's Gate playthrough on weekdays. I also play Payday 3 whenever that updates, so I'll probably be playing some of that next week. And I play Final Fantasy XIV on Sundays, so that'll be tomorrow. But yes, if you're just interested in the Metal Gear, come here every Saturday, and that's where you'll find it. At least until I finish the playthrough. Now, what were you going to say, Sam?
I don't remember.
Was it about food? Because I had a mushroom and it tasted bad.
Yeah. Certain flora will be poisonous, and you'll actually vomit.
Oh, great. I mean, I want to try everything once.
You'll lose stamina as well, so...
I need to eat my first snake. Great stamina recovery. Snake eater. What a thrill. Is the idea here that I can have 3 living creatures? Like, is that the cage? Is why they got the empty things there? And then dead things, I can have a limitless amount? When do I get to hear the song, by the way? Or is that not until credits roll?
I mean, you should have already heard it by now.
Interesting that, like, he's got a sleepy symbol, but these guys have stars. Is that, like, the difference between a sleep, like, tranquilized and, like, beaten unconscious? Anyway.
Yeah, because beaten up means you'll typically get up quicker.
Well, they were knocked out in a cutscene. But that doesn't necessarily prevent them from getting up, so I should probably be on my way. I should check in with the codec and see what my actual plan is right now.
Snake, stay alert. The KGB and GRU both have their sights set on Sokolov.
Thanks, Colin.
GRU is a military espionage outfit, the intelligence wing of the Soviet Defense Ministry's General Staff Office. It competes with the KGB, which is under the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and the two are always watching each other.
Never let the left hand know what the right hand is doing.
Exactly. Now, added to that rivalry, there's a vicious power struggle going on between the Khrushchev faction and the anti-Khrushchev faction.
So Khrushchev is using the KGB, and Volgin and the anti-Khrushchev forces are using the GRU?
That's the idea. The two factions are fighting over Sokolov. We're in an extremely dangerous situation here.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Get Sokolov out of there safely. He must not be turned over to the KGB or to the GRU. Sokolov took off in the direction of the rope bridge. Get after him. Hurry!
So we're going backwards. Okay. Guess that makes sense, because I don't remember seeing a path out. Yeah, this is a isolated area. Okay, good. Let's go back to our woodland camo. We don't need to walk around as a clown now that we're out of this orange and brown area. Although it actually doesn't go up any on woodland. I'm sure it will once we leave. What was it again? Where is it?
Leaf.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now all of a sudden it's effective again. Well, kind of. It's -5 there. Dolino Vodno.
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished!
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
That's an old noise.
That's what they were making you build?
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBM.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
Sounds metal.
Is that thing finished?
No. This is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war?
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
So what you're telling me is that your existence is the main thing that allows this horrible machine to function. Is it just me, or would the pragmatic move here be to shoot him in the head? Hey, boss.
Boss?
Is she here to supply the pragmatic solution?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Hornets?
Right, so these would be this game's eclectic collection of Super Commando boss fights waiting to happen. And she's gonna be the liquid.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back,
Takuma!
boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood.
It's raining blood. Hallelujah.
Is he
It's
crying?
raining blood.
Kuwabara, Kuwabara.
Darth Sion, is that you?
Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Oh.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
Yeah, well, he's about to discover vengeance.
Think you can pull the trigger?
Not in the cutscene. Huh. Where's the rest of my gun? Pro tip, don't do your martial arts techniques on the person who taught them to you.
He's seen my face.
Figure out some new ones first, then go for them, yeah?
We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait.
Is this
He's
why
my
they call him
apprentice.
Thunderbolt?
I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
Now, if I'd have been wearing the Soviet Union face paint, could I have convinced Volkov that I was on the team?
The new blood has been rejected.
Subtitle said New Blood, but I heard Noob Lad.
Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
What was that? Sheogorath?
Drift away.
Oh, I hate drifting.
My place is with them now.
Phone's ringing.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment.
Oh, God.
Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
That current facial expression has to be a new emote.
I got distracted because every time she said left stick, there was a very clear audio edit, which means that they didn't realize what control she was supposed to put, and they had to change it or something like that. Jesus Christ! I'm a mess. No, I was playing Trauma Surgeon Solid 3, Snake Fixer, suffering from a deep cut, bleeding, no bandage applied, not yet disinfected. Effective for treating venom poisoning, effective for treating stomach aches, effective for treating colds, food poisoning, right, wrong menu. Is it again? Bleeding, bandage, disinfect. So you disinfect it first, I think. Just use a knife on myself. Disinfectant. Active for treating cuts as well. So I would use this thing next, I think, to stop the bleeding. There we go. Sew it up and then bandage it? Or just bandage it? Okay. Another one. Another one. That is a broken bone. Helping broken bones to heal. Splint it. Bandage it. There's another broken bone. Splint it. Bandage it. That's a cut. Disinfect it. Whatever that thing is. Suture it and bandage it. You had a bad day. Waiting for the freelancer campaign failed window to pop up. Jesus Christ.
Good job, Snake.
Great.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon.
When do we
Can you
get to
set it
take
up?
the 6 weeks needed to get out of the sling?
Shagohod.
So she knows he's alive. And now he's a zombie.
Excellent. A
Big
great
boom.
success.
Making
Thanks
a
to
note.
the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
She hasn't said a word yet.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Wait, what?
Colonel.
Oh, this is
Even
normal.
if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
До свидания.
Colonel.
Whee! Don't worry, Ocelot. You'll grow up to do way worse things. Now introducing the radiation sickness mechanic. When we said you could eat mushrooms in this game, we meant more than just the black ink stuff. Would you like to save your game? No, actually, I think I liked things before all of that shit happened. Could we maybe get a do-over and not cross the bridge? Konami presents. Do we get the song now? Berlin Wall. Man on the Moon.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life,
not for honor, but for you. That's the only bit I know.
In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive, for the day we see new light. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still
How do I know this song? Funny story. I'll tell it when it's over.
I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Currently flying over the Arctic Ocean, altitude 30,000 feet, approaching Soviet airspace. Arriving at the designated drone launch point. Drone
I
oil
would like to
pressure
learn
and
that.
voltage are nominal. Payload oxygen supply is nominal. Power supply to payload antifreeze system shows no problems. No gusts. All systems go for drone detachment.
Snake, we can't risk a halo jump this time around. Airspace security has gotten tighter since we were last here. We can't get as close to the ground as we did during the Virtuous mission. So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor on par with Alan Shepard. This is our last chance. Show your patriotism. If you fail, you'll be back in a hospital bed again, waiting for the firing squad.
I'm sorry, what?
So how does it feel to be a patient in one of the most advanced ICUs in the world?
Would you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours? I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
More like an interrogation. According to them, I'm a traitor and an accomplice to the boss's defection.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you, too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero out of this.
Ah,
Does
we're
this
in
mean
trouble.
Fox is going to die.
No. This fox is still one step ahead of the hounds.
Fox
The reason
don't
I came
die.
to see you today, Jack, it's time for Fox to clear its name.
What are you talking about?
The situation has changed. We still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind of chance?
Don't get too excited. Here, have a cigar. It's Cuban. This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No. Something even bigger.
They're going to fire us out of a cannon into the sun.
Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
President Johnson?
Yes, I hear you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of the Soviet Union?
That's right.
A few days ago, one of our country's main design bureaus, OKB 754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does any of this sound familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. If I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard that. The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Volgin? Of the Brezhnev faction. Go on. Who is the soldier?
Her name is the Boss.
That's not a fucking
She's a living
name.
legend. During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean the Boss? The mother of your special forces?
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The Boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells.
I'm afraid so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. But serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
But Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The Army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
God, he sounds like J.K.
I would
Simmons.
not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement.
He's just wishing for a Russian accident.
Relationship.
What if we can't prove our innocence?
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal?
If you fail, it will mean the beginning of a new world war.
To put it simply, in order to avoid a full-scale nuclear conflict, we have to prove that America was not involved in that explosion.
Oh, good.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off.
A video game protagonist.
You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
The fate of Metal Gear Solids 1 and 2 rests entirely upon your success.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
God, no.
The KGB has promised to lend us one of their communications satellites so that you and I can talk to each other.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
Precisely. Since then, they've apparently been training with the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva. I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Volgin's ranks. We've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
Control. Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet. It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
Okay. Of the 3 times we've landed in this game, as better than the one in the middle, but not as good as the original. The one in the middle being falling off the bridge.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Glad to see you landed safely.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more time. Rescue Sokolov. Find out what's happened to the Shagohod, then destroy it. And finally, eliminate the boss.
Eliminate the boss?
This mission will be codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer.
I know, but that was the Kremlin's demand.
Demand? You mean it wasn't just a request? What's it to us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by the Colonel and his faction?
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear exchange, then that's what we'll do.
And what are the CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction of the Shagohod.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
What now?
I'm changing my codename. It turns out Tom wasn't the most auspicious choice.
What do you mean?
Well, the truth is, when I chose my codename, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one?
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? It came out last year.
I must have missed that one.
Anyway, it's based on a true story about prisoners who escaped from a POW camp in Nazi Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels before they're finished. The prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it. You used the name of the tunnel they escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
You should have gone with Major
that's exactly
Dick.
right. At least, that was the plan.
But
I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry.
Damn it!
Tom was one of the unlucky tunnels. It was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
yeah, it doesn't sound like the greatest name to use. So what should I call you?
You know, let's just use Zero, like we've been doing all along.
All right, then. Major Zero it is. We'll start over from square one.
From square zero. My frequency is 140.85.
I like the idea of calling you Major
I almost
Dick.
forgot. Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Is this her last chance, too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. More or less the same kind of fate.
I don't
Her
think it is.
frequency is the same as during the Virtuous mission, 145.73.
All right.
She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same, 140.96.
Who's our replacement combat
And there's one more
person?
person on your support team. His name is Mr. Sigint.
Well, so long as it's
He's
not
an
Mr.
expert
Miller.
on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
Mr. Sigint. Got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you
Give
to
you a
rescue
bit of a
Sokolov.
clue here.
How will I know
It's
this
not really
Adam
a
guy
spot
when
thing.
he's
I
Still
don't think it's-
talking.
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the fallout from that nuclear blast. No one else would dare come close. The password is, "Who are the Patriots?" and Lali Lulelo.
Lali Lulelo. Gotcha.
You've been equipped with a 45 for this mission. Be careful, it's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent, to the Khrushchev regime at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission. Snake, if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
What was your point?
There's something that may seem like a spoiler, but it's not, because I don't think it's revealed during the course of the game, and it doesn't change the end of the game in any way.
Right.
The identity of Mr. Sigint.
Let's talk to him first. Nothing else is new here.
Yo! You're Snake, aren't you?
And you're Sigint?
None other.
I heard that you're an expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
Close.
Stillman?
Huh?
I am the expert on
Nope.
weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
Ah.
I'm the guy that designed your trank
You wanna
gun,
know?
active sonar, and motion detector. If you want to know anything about weapons or equipment you find in the field, just send me a message and ask. Later.
Does he turn into Grey Fox?
No.
Then who?
Well, let's just say you find him dead in a jail cell, rotting.
DARPA chief?
Mm-hmm.
Ha!
Sounds like the Cobra unit's members' names came from the specific emotions they each carry into battle.
Emotions?
Yeah. For unbearable torment, the pain. For true oblivion, the end. For infinite rage, the fury. For absolute terror, the fear. And for unsurpassed bliss, the joy.
The joy?
It's another name for the boss, because of the joy she feels in battle, I suppose.
Ah.
During the war, she had a partner named the Sorrow. Sorrow and joy. They say there couldn't have been a more perfect pair.
I guess it makes sense. And there's still a space there. We'll see who fills that. Obviously the boss has been replaced by this one. Thing is, I do have to stop now, because I need to...
Paramedic.
Snake, it's so good to hear from you again.
Also,
Same
one
here.
last thing.
It's been a week, hasn't it?
4 days, actually.
Huh?
I visited you in the hospital. You were still unconscious, though.
Then you must have seen me naked.
Yeah, but you were all wrapped up in bandages and tubes, so I couldn't do anything but look.
Better luck next time.
Let's hope so. But seriously, don't forget that you were like that until just yesterday. In fact, you really shouldn't even be on this mission. Keep an eye on your stamina gauge. If you start to run low, don't push yourself. Eat something to replenish your stamina. And try not to get yourself hurt.
I imagine
if you're
it drains
wounded or
faster
get
now.
bitten by a venomous animal, go into the survival viewer immediately and treat yourself using Cure.
Yeah. I can see you still know how to nag.
You're welcome. And I can see you still don't know when to keep your mouth shut.
Maybe so. By the way, I heard you're going to lose your medical license if this mission fails.
Yes, there was talk of that, but the mission won't fail, will it?
Of course not.
Good. I believe in you. But you know what? I really don't care about my medical license.
Fuck this job.
Didn't they use that to force you to participate in this operation?
No, I volunteered.
Why?
So that I could watch over you.
Huh.
Snake, you're the best agent I've ever seen. But you push yourself too hard. You're reckless. Someone has to stop you from getting into trouble, to make sure you and the boss don't kill each other. So that's why I volunteered. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guardian angel than me, right?
Thanks.
Stop right there.
Thanks.
You can thank me when you get back.
All right.
Can I save now? I mean, she's better than Rosemary, I suppose. What were you going to say? One last thing?
The identity of the paramedic. Also not relevant to
Okay,
the
good luck,
story
Snake.
at hand. It's not a
Thanks.
spoiler either. It's one of the things that you find out by reading the supplementary stuff, the same way that you find out about Sigint and the DARPA chief. Paramedic is Dr. Clark. Naomi Hunter's predecessor.
Huh. I suppose that Am I in the same place? Have we just gone to the same place? Have we gone to the same... They said it was the same place that Sokolov was locked up in. Well, anyway, I have saved, so anything I do now isn't going to count. Yeah, no, I'll be back with this every Saturday. I think this was a pretty good point. Like, we got through the prologue and then all of the setup for the next mission, so we'll be able to get right into it. Maybe we'll fight a boss next week. Hooray. Where's the actual exit? Or do you just... Alt F4? Ah, return to title screen. Yes, yes, Konami. Yes, yes, Kojima. Yes, yes, Blue Point. I don't need all this. Let me out! I mean, back to main menu. Quit is what we want. Oh, there we go. I think. Yes, except now I've got access to the Steam community while playing, sitting in front of what is presumably the way out. Here we go. Yeah, it would definitely be easier to just Alt F4 that. That was nuts. But there we go. I'll be back tomorrow with Final Fantasy XIV. But if you want to watch me continue this, come along next Saturday. I'll be doing 4 hours a week, so it'll take us a while, but it's also not a 100-hour RPG, so I figure that it will fit the slot just fine. Fare thee well, everybody.